Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for the likes, the comments, and for subscribing. In this video I'll be updating you on twist of fate. Prachi is going to show them Pepe, I must tell you. Guess what? Prachi storms the Koli's mansion and demand for her rights. You need to watch till the end to find out what happened. Please subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click on the notification button to be notified anytime I drop a new video. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up. Tell me what you feel about this video in the comment section. Let's go. Pallavi happily does the rituals. Rhea smiles. Prachi is coming there. Pallavi asks Rhea to kick the kalash and step in kumkum plate and get inside the house. She says, bring your auspicious feet inside the house. Rhea kicks the kalash and steps in kumkum plate and walks inside the house happily. Rhea is still standing on the door and looks at the footprints. He recalls Prachi's Pravish and gets sad. Shaina tells Rhea that her room is having romantic feeling decoration. Rhea and Rhea take Pallavi's blessings. Pallavi says God shall keep their Jodi united. Prachi enters and says you can't give them this blessing as God has made Rhea's Jodi with someone else before. Everyone is stunned seeing Prachi. Prachi says you are insulting God by making his Jodi with someone else and putting God in dilemma. Rhea looks at Prachi. Song plays. Prachi steps inside the house boldly, takes water jug from the dining table, and pulls on Rhea's footprints. Rhea gets angry and asks, what the hell? Prachi asks, are you getting angry as I have splashed water on your footprints or because I have ruined your doings? Rhea, Pallavi, and Rhea are shocked. Prachi asks servants to bring wiper to wipe the footprints. Pallavi asks how dare to disturb Rhea and Rhea's marriage rituals. She asks, didn't your mother tell you that it's very sacred? Prachi says kumkum is very sacred and says it is used for puja, etc. and says if it is applied with wrong feet, then think if happiness or destruction come in the house. Pallavi says, I don't want to argue with you and asks her to leave. Prachi comes to Rhea and looks at him emotionally. She then breaks his garland. Pallavi asks, what is happening? She calls security. Prachi asks, why are you calling security? As I have broken the Vamala. She says, I will break this relation. Then whom will you call? Rhea says, we will not tolerate your misbehavior. Prachi says, breaking the illegal things is not misbehavior and says, if this is misbehavior, then what is it which you have done? Rhea says, you are crossing your limit. Prachi says, I have come here as Bahu and you don't need to tell me. Vikram says, we will talk about this later for everyone. Prachi says, I used to think about everyone before, but now I am thinking about myself. Rhea asks Rhea to stop Prachi and say something. Rhea asks Prachi, why are you doing this? Prachi says, I was thinking that I shall do this before. You claim to love me and married my sister. Rhea says, I will answer you and says, this marriage should have married long before when you forcibly married him. Prachi says, we used to love and I didn't force him to marry me. She says, how can this marriage happen when Rhea is already married to me? Rhea says, your marriage is broken with him. Prachi says, will you decide this? And says, Rhea and my relation will never get over. Pallavi asks her to leave the house without doing any drama. Prachi recalls Sid's words and says, you made tamasha of my love, marriage, and everything. She says, you used to treat me worse than a servant and never gave me love and respect, which I deserve. She says, daily you used to explain my role and judge me always. She says, I used to do all things as I used to love and respect you. She says, I have done my duty as a bahu. Now I will do my duty as a wife. She says, I have bear enough. Now you shall bear some. It is not that difficult. She folds her hands and asks the guests to leave. She tells the guests that she is Rambia's wife and she is alive. She says, Tamasha is over, which happens in the name of marriage. Rhea asks, who are you to call our marriage as Tamasha? Rhea asks, who are you to call our marriage illegal? Prachi says she is Mrs. Prachi Rambia Koli, this house bahu, Rambia's wife and your sister. Dida smiles, seeing Prachi fighting for her rights. Prachi tells the guests that she will not bear the inauspicious reflection on the house, and that's why she washed the feet impression. She says, tell everyone that Rambia's wife has returned. She says, I am his first wife. Rhea shouts, Prachi. Prachi says, you are his second wife, and says, I am giving you respect, and says, there is nothing like second wife in our society. When wife is alive, then husband can't remarry. She says, as per IPC section 494, this marriage is null and void. This is not a valid marriage. She tells Rhea that her marriage is declared illegal and says the right from you is snatched and breaks her garland. Hey! Rhea asks, how dare you, and raises hand to slap her. Prachi holds her hand and says, you are younger than me, and be that, else I will slap you so strong that you will understand what is your respect in my love. She says, I have seen your real face and identified you. She asks her not to be a sultan. She then asks Rambia what happened to him and asks if he didn't know that he can't remarry when she is alive. Rhea asks Pallavi and Vikram to kick her out from their house. She says she is calling my marriage as fraud and says such woman doesn't deserve to stay in society or house. She says we all know that what she has done. She was with my husband in a hotel room and now she's claiming her husband. Prachi gets angry and slaps her hard. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and come back for more updates from your favorite Z Word series.